We turn to blues now. For instance, a blues that might have been kind of popular in the days of the steamboat, or just a smaller boat that some fella had, and he kind of got the blues for the river. He got fed up with everything around him and he wanted to go somewhere. The tune called Deep River Blues, or Big River Blues sometimes. Let it rain, let it pour, let it rain a whole lot more, Lord. I got them deep river blues. Let the rain drive right on, let the waves sweep along, Lord. I got them deep river blues. My old gal's a good old pal. She walks just like a...
Hi y'all, what's up? It's Carolina Cat Daddy. It's late September. It's deer season, so it's got to be about the 15th or the 16th. If y'all ain't see, I caught a big old 50-pound blue about 2 weeks ago. I haven't been fishing since. Been spraying them cabinets. Y'all check this out. It's my latest job. Pretty good job. Met a new guy too, just talked him into buying a slime cat rod. But I don't know, we're gonna go see what's going on. It's Friday night. Ended up he had something to do tomorrow. I need to finish that job. The pictures I just showed you is the finished job. I put up half those doors today. Phone's going crazy. Someone's really texting me. They must be wanting to know where I'm going fishing. Y'all keep asking me where that spot is. If you can't figure it out, I'm not telling you. It is what it is. Like, I'll help you. I'll tell you the baits to use. I'll give you everything, all the ingredients to make the cake, but I ain't gonna bake it for you and watch you eat it. It just ain't gonna happen. I'm sorry. It just ain't gonna happen. I've actually had people ask to pay me to take them fishing there. But I am working on my boat. I got a video I posted a couple months ago, me working on my boat. That kind of got delayed with this whole COVID thing. It kind of messed all the money flow up. But we about to get back on that real soon. The Southern Eastern Catfish Club started their tournaments. I missed the first one. I'd like to make some more of those the rest of the year, so we're really gonna try and get that boat on the water soon. And to be honest, I'm tired of fishing the bank. I fished the boat my whole life. The last year I've been restricted to the bank. The last 2 years. Yeah, almost 2 years now I've been fishing the bank. And I tell you what, I've caught more fish on that bank than I have in all them years in the boat. But it's time to move on. It's time to set sail. But we're gonna go see if we can get on some fish. We had Hurricane Sally just come through. It really wasn't much of a hurricane when we got it. It was just rain, so it rained about 27 hours straight. I think they're biting. I seen Matthew Anthony on Seven Oaks Bridge. I seen him fish. I finished his job, was going, and I seen him right there. I turned around and started yelling at him. I don't think he liked that too much. I think I yelled, he can't catch them all. He didn't look too happy, but I texted him afterward and let him know it was me. But we caught a big flathead right there where he was, and I'm pretty sure it was as soon as I yelled him, I seen one of his rods go down. Matthew Anthony be wearing them out. Y'all check him out. But we're gonna go see if we can get on some fish. We're gonna go get some bait, see if we can get on some more. Y'all stay tuned. All right, y'all. I got on bait real quick, threw the net like 3 times, caught plenty of perch. Caught a big crappie. I let him go. I got plenty of perch to fish with for tonight. But it's time for some maintenance. I need to change pretty much all these leaders. This one's still good. I've had a lot of people ask me about, you know what I'm using, what kind of line, so I'm gonna do a little explanations here. I did a video on this before, but it was about a year ago. I had a crappy camera. My netting skills weren't up to par, but I've gotten a lot better. So I'm running 20-pound Berkeley Pro Spec Chrome. I'm running a Santee rig, which is basically running a 50-pound leader, a big game, swivel, a little extension right here with, usually I use a 3-ounce or a 4-ounce disc sinker, about 2 feet, 2.5 feet leader. Usually I run a 10-aught owner's hook circle. These are 9. They didn't have 10 in stock when I re-upped. Got a little peg float, 1.5 inches. This rig works great. Basically how this works is, this is gonna sit on the bottom. I don't know if y'all can see all this, but this is, the weight's gonna sit on the bottom, and this float is gonna float up like that right there, as far as it'll go. Depending on the bait, it might float a little lower. It works great. I get great hookups. I've increased my hookups tremendously. I increased my hookups tremendously with a circle hook too. I just started using this a year ago, and I tell you what, they're awesome. I use a snail hook. I'm about to show you the whole, I'm about to rig one up and show you the whole process of me. I'm gonna check these leaders. This is the rod and reel I caught the 50-pounder on, and I haven't changed the leader since. But look at that. You see that nick right there? If you feel this, there's all kind of rub marks on this. See all these nicks? You might get away with it, but at the same time, I might hook a 60 tonight. And what if I lose them because I didn't change this out? I've lost a big fish on watery one night like that. I was lazy. I knew I needed to change the leader, and I didn't do it. And I hooked a big fish. Don't know how big. Still don't know how. It's something you always gonna think about, and you're gonna be sad about it. I'm sad about it right now because I'm telling you, that fish, I caught it. I was on my pontoon, anchored up in the mouth of Cedar Creek. About 1, 2 in the morning, that sucker took off, and it was a monster. It was a big fish, and I don't know how big. Watery's got some monsters. I'll never know. And I kick myself in the, whatever you want to say. I'm very upset with myself over that one, because right when I threw it out, I threw out a live perch too. And you know, that's something you don't ever get over. And see, this is an important thing too. When I reel in my, every time I reel in my reel rod, every time I reel it in, every time I have my finger on the line right here, and I'm reeling in. And if I feel a nick in this line, I'm taking it back up and I'm cutting behind that, and I'm retying, because that's gonna break even faster than a nick in your leader. So I always, and right here is a pinch point. This part right here, see, you can see it. I don't know if you can see it, but right there, that's from the line bending over the rod right here. It's not that big of a deal at first, it's right there too. But over time, that's a weak spot. And you hook these big fish, especially in a river. A river changes everything. You hook a big fish in a river, you can kiss that one goodbye. Someone else is gonna catch him with your rig in his mouth. But I always keep a pair of fingernail clippers, and even I feel it right there. I'm gonna take line off. I'm gonna go up, get a little ways, and I'm gonna take that off. And I'll use a piece of this for my weight. But I always reuse my stuff too. That's the great thing about these owner's hooks. They stay sharp. Like, I will use this hook until I lose it. I mean, it's hung in my shirt right now. Dang it. Guy named Tommy put me on these. Heck of a fisherman too. Y'all should check him out. I think he's got a little YouTube going on. I don't know the name of his YouTube. I have to look into that, but he's a heck of a fisherman. Great guy. Cuts up. He's something else. But he put me on these hooks. I was using gamakatsu, and they're shaped just like a gamakatsu. They're the exact same design. But these, I had a gamakatsu bend on me, and I got a lot of negative feedback on it, like it was my fault. It wasn't my fault. I had a guy out here with me. I got it on video. It was not my fault. That hook should not have bent at all. My 20-pound line should have broke before that. But I reused all this stuff. I'll check the swivel out, because sometimes I'll throw them away. This one's pretty rusty, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw it away. These things are cheap. I'm not really worried about that, so I'm gonna throw that away. But I'm gonna keep a piece of this line for my new, well, I already cut it. If I was gonna reuse that swivel, I would have just kept that on there, but I'm changing that out, so throw that away. And this is a real easy rig to tie, super easy. It's only 2 different knots. and it's not hard at all. Take some leader off. And I have a little science to how long I make my leaders, and I'll show you that in a minute. But first off, you're gonna tie your hook. You gotta start at the bottom and work your way up. So, you see this? It's got I gotta have a hook with that lip. I don't like a straight edge hook, I don't like it. Gotta have that lip. I'm gonna turn that lip around and I'm gonna come in. This is called a snail hook. You just wrap it around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sometimes I do 10, sometimes I don't know. However I feel that night, it don't really matter. Once you get past 6 or 7, it's all the same. You come back around. Now watch this, very important. When I get here, I pull. I'm getting all that squiggliness out the line because that'll mess you up when you come back through. It'll make you put a nick in your line and it's not good. So you get all that out, get to the end, and you come back the same hole, the opposite way you went in. Now you make sure that you don't get no nick, get it all twisted up right here, because if you get it twisted up, you're gonna get a nick. And it might not make a difference, but I don't like it. I got OCD and it drives me crazy. There you go. And you're gonna cut that tail off. Don't cut it too short. You don't want that tail coming back through your loops. I've lost a fish like that too. You learn your lessons the whole way. Now the science behind this is how I do it. I go on my rod and I go to my bottom eye and I come up and I stop just short of that eye. Now, the main reason I started doing that is so when I tie it up, it's easy for me to tie up, you know, when I'm leaving. But it seems to be a very effective length on the leader. Now, I don't know the exact length on that. I would say it's about 18 inches, 24 inches. I really don't know. I've never took the time to measure it out, but I forgot an important step. All right, you got to put your peg float on first. See, I do this stuff without thinking about it. So me sitting here explaining it and talking, I'm getting sidetracked. Got to put your peg float on. And I reuse these. See, that's been used. I'm gonna use it till it ain't no good no more, because why waste it? It's still doing its purpose, its job. Now on this, you're looking at about 6 inches. You can play with this. And a lot of this is preference too. You know, it all depends on your situation too. But for me, that right there seems to work great. Now I'm gonna go back and redo this. Bottom eye to the top eye, right there. That's good enough for good ale. Now, new swivel. I took one out. I dropped it. Now the rest of the knots are polymers. Got your swivel. A polymer is simply bending it over like that. Hope I'm getting all this on video. Putting it through. Come around, just make like a swoop knot. I don't know what you would call that, but you just make it like that. And then you take that part and go around your swivel. Some people put spit on their line. I don't have to do that. I think with over a 50-pound line, you have to start doing that to get the knot to work right. But you just get it tight. That's it, man. Cut that off. Now you're going to attach this to your main line. Same thing, polymer. You got to make this polymer a little bigger because you got to go around the whole hook. So you're going to make it a little bigger. Loop. Then a swoop. I always leave it right there. Come down, get my hook, and go through. And then walk it down. Make sure you get that out of there. You want it to look just like that, and you want to slowly take it down. And so you see that part right there? Then you want to grab your main line and tighten that up a little bit. Don't do it all at once. Kind of do it one step by step. You'll start getting a feel for this thing once you do it enough. Like I said, if I wasn't talking and doing this video, I could do this in about a minute and a half. Like, I'm really quick with it now. All right, and now with my disc sinker, all I'm using is a barrel swivel with a clip on it. Same thing, polymer. Cut that off. I usually polymer my main line first. And what's cool about this, if you reuse the swivel, you can just leave this hooked here. You don't have to retie this. So, and I reuse this stuff a lot. Like, I'll check it, and if it's good, I'm not gonna change it out. I've never lost a fish on a swivel. Knock on some wood. I don't have any wood. I'll go knock on that tree in a minute. Never lost a fish on a swivel. Now, with this, you want about, I don't know, you don't want too long, you don't want too short. So that looks like 5 inches maybe. I've never really measured this stuff. I just kind of done it so long, I got a feel for it. But you're doing the polymer, same deal, loop. Get a big enough hook, a big enough swoop in it. Come around, walk it around, and then piece by piece. Cut your tag off, throw your tags away. I got a trash can right here beside me. I'm throwing all this stuff away. I don't want that in the lake. That's it. And that's your Santee rig right there. I got another tag on there I didn't get. I'm too busy talking. I'm gonna quit talking. I'm gonna string these other two up, and we're gonna get some baits in the water, and we're gonna catch some fish. It's real windy tonight. It's about like Santee out here. Got one more little trick I wanna show you. When you tie up, when you first tie up, you see how it's all crooked like that? It's monofilament, so it'll bend. So what you do is you put it on that hook, leave it like that. It don't take long, a couple minutes. It'll be all stretched out. And there you go, straightened out. All right, y'all stay tuned. All right, y'all, I really ain't got the camera set up well, so I don't know how well y'all seeing this, but I was just coming out. I just literally turned the camera off to throw some bait out. I don't know, he might have came off. Nah, he's still on there. He pulled a little drag. Yeah, I don't think he's huge, but ain't bad for the first one. About 20 pounds maybe. All right. Very unorganized here. Probably 12 pounds maybe. Beautiful fish. My grandpa wants some fish. If I was gonna keep one to eat, this would be it, but I didn't bring no cooler or nothing, so we're gonna let her go. I don't keep too many fish, but about twice a year I keep him a couple about this size, but not tonight. All right, y'all, sorry about the bad camera angle. I ain't had that bait in the water 10 minutes, so. All right, y'all, same rod, same spot. About the same size fish. Ain't been about 5 minutes. Sorry y'all, the wind's blowing pretty good, but a little bigger. It's probably close to 15, so we probably got about 2 or 3 pounds bigger. Hope they keep getting bigger. We're gonna keep fishing. Dang, he made a pretty big splash there. All right, this fish ran all the way in. He ran pretty hard. And then when I put some pressure on him, it ran in. I don't think he's no really huge fish. Dang, it's got me wrapped on the pylon. I ain't got my dang headlamp. It's a nice 20. He thought he was gonna get away. He thought he was gonna trick me. I'm gonna let him go, keep fishing. I probably gotta check that leader. Good possibility I gotta retie it. We'll see. Alright y'all, this was a great video, an opportunity to show y'all. I showed y'all earlier how to tie my rigs, and I talked about the importance of checking your lines. A situation like that, 99 times out of 100, I don't have to change my leader on a fishing trip. Usually I can go 2 or 3 trips, but I'm constantly checking that thing. That fish right around that pylon, I had to unwrap him. I automatically knew I had to change my line. I mean, it's a no-brainer. There was a spot on my main line. I went up, found it, and I kept going back a good ways, and then cut to make sure there wasn't no other ones. And on the leader, it was scuffed up. So I changed that leader out. Yeah, it gets aggravating, but you can't make a rookie mistake like that. If I miss a fish, I want it to be something out of my control. That is in my control. It is my job as a fisherman to check that line. I could be lazy and not check it and then lose fish of a lifetime. So it's very important to check them lines. He didn't pull the clicker. I just happened to be looking at it. I seen it bounce real good and it was slack. A lot of times they'll hit it and come back. I want to take this time, some things I was thinking about. You know, a lot of people ask to fish with me, and I fish with some people from time to time. But really, this is, I like fishing by myself. This is my time with God. This is my time to get away from the world. This world's crazy, and out here, you know, I'm under the stars, and I just, well, actually, there ain't no stars at night. Overcast, but this is my time with God, and I ain't even gonna lie, just now I was pretty upset. You know, I get pretty upset. I try thinking about what I've done in my past. You know, I've always been a good person, but I've done stuff that I regret, and I get upset. And I have to realize that I've been forgiven for those things. And you have to forgive yourself. That's hard to do. But at the same time, it's when you feel guilty about the stuff you've done, that's a good thing, because that's the Holy Spirit convicting you and letting you know that you got to be better. You got to try and be better. No one's gonna be perfect. You know, Jesus was perfect, but we'll never be perfect. It talks about getting the log at your eye before you can get the splinter at your brother. That's very true. I've heard people twist that around, and focus on yourself. Don't worry about everybody else. Focus on yourself. You cannot help anybody else until you overcome things. And if the world would do that, it would be a much better place. Get them logs at your eye. Then you'll be, you know, then you can do something. Then you can see clearly. You're still gonna have splinters in your eye, though. I don't care how many logs you take out. There's gonna be splinters in your own eye still. So, this is my 2 cents for the night. But we're gonna keep fishing. Hopefully this guy comes back and gets my bait. We'll see. Y'all stay tuned. Jumped the gun. I should have let him run a little longer. We're gonna leave it right there. I didn't move it too much. I don't think he got it. There's a little fine line there, especially running the clickers. I'm not the biggest fan on clicker. I like them. In this situation, I have to run them because I don't have a set rod holder. A lot of times I fish the bank, I have a rebar set up that I welded together and made, that I beat in the ground. They'll hold. I'm on the boat, I'm locking them down. I like that lockdown. Here, I cannot lock these down. I mean, look what I got going on, you know. I have to triple check these to make sure the clickers are on, because I'll lose a rod. You see how hard, I mean, a 20-pound fish runs hard, man. You get a good 50-pound blue. Flatheads don't run as hard at first. The flathead fights harder, but they don't run as hard. Them blues, they are tough. They run hard. So in this kind of situation, I have to run clickers, and it took me a while to get used to them. But if I'm right on top of this like I was just now, a lot of times I'll jump the gun. I have to, that adrenaline gets going. Because I don't know about y'all, but the coolest thing about fishing is when you go to get that rod, you have no idea what's on there till you get a hold of it. Sometimes you still don't even know, but those few seconds, you just don't know, and it's a feeling I can't describe. But I don't think there's a word to describe it. It's just anticipation, adrenaline, all this stuff mixed together. It's just so exciting. But that's why it's better. A lot of times when I'm sitting down and I'm laid back and he takes off and it takes a few seconds for me to get there, usually I hook up pretty well. All right, y'all, he came back. He ran it in a little bit. Fishing brush piles. These flats like to hang out in these brush piles. And I put in some really big fish here that have ran me back into the brush pile and I don't get them out. So really, I'm at a bad angle. Really, I want to be, if I was in a boat, I would be fishing the other side of the brush pile. That way, if he hit it and run back in the brush pile, I could probably get him out. From the way I'm at now, he comes out of that brush pile, takes the bait, and goes back. I don't know what we got going on here. And we do got gar in here. So I don't see them that, I hadn't seen no gar really much this year. Could be a little channel, could be a turtle, could be a freaking huge flat. Flats will do you like that. If you've been fishing a lot, you know what I'm talking about. Some big flats will just hit that bait and just sit there. And I don't want to move it too much more. I want to get close to the brush pile. Something keeps tapping it though, so